Imagine a war unlike any before, a conflict that would redefine the very nature of warfare itself, a war of terrifying speed and power where the traditional rules of engagement were obliterated, a war that smashed through defenses with an unprecedented ferocity, leaving chaos and destruction in its wake, altering the landscape and the lives of those who lived there. This was Blitzkrieg, the lightning war that shook Europe to its core. It was a strategy that combined speed, surprise, and overwhelming force. In 1939, the world watched in stunned silence as the German war machine unleashed this revolutionary new form of warfare. Hitler's armies moved with a swiftness and coordination that had never been seen before, catching their enemies off guard. Blitzkrieg was more than just a military tactic, it was a psychological weapon that shattered the enemy's will to fight. The speed and ferocity of the attacks left defenders in a state of shock and confusion. It was a method designed to demoralize and disorient, to break the spirit of the enemy before they even had a chance to mount a defense. The term Blitzkrieg itself was coined by journalists, not German military strategists. But the name fit perfectly. It captured the essence of this new kind of war. This was war at a pace never before seen, a lightning strike that left the enemy reeling. The rapid movements and coordinated attacks were designed to overwhelm and incapacitate. Blitzkrieg changed the face of warfare forever. It was a brutal, efficient, and devastatingly effective strategy that left a lasting impact on military tactics and the world at large. Though revolutionary in its implementation, Blitzkrieg was not a concept born overnight. It was the result of years of military evolution and strategic thinking. Blitzkrieg's roots can be traced back to the early 20th century, particularly to the bloody battlefields of World War I. The Great War, as it was known, was characterized by its brutal and static trench warfare. The static trench warfare of that conflict had left Germany searching for new ways to break the deadlock. The endless lines of trenches, the barbed wire, and the no-man's land in between created a stalemate that seemed impossible to overcome. Germany's military leaders knew that a new approach was needed. They began to explore innovative strategies and tactics that could give them an edge in future conflicts. Military thinkers like Heinz Guderian were at the forefront of this new wave of strategic thought. Guderian in particular was fascinated by the potential of mechanized warfare. He studied the use of tanks and aircraft, envisioning a more mobile and aggressive form of warfare. He believed that speed and surprise were the keys to victory. Envisioning a more mobile and aggressive form of warfare, Guderian and his contemporaries saw the potential for combined arms operations. They understood that tanks, infantry, and aircraft could work together in a coordinated assault. They saw the potential for combined arms operations where different branches of the military worked together in a deadly synergy. This approach would allow them to break through enemy lines and exploit weaknesses with devastating effect. Where different branches of the military worked together in a deadly synergy, out of the ashes of defeat in World War I, a new German army emerged, one that was determined to never again be bogged down in the trenches. The lessons learned from the Great War were not forgotten. The German military began to rebuild and rearm, incorporating the new strategies and tactics that had been developed. A new German army emerged, one that was determined to never again be bogged down in the trenches. They would take the lessons learned from the Great War and forge a new path to victory. This new approach to warfare would come to be known as Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. It was a strategy that emphasized speed, surprise, and the use of combined arms to achieve rapid and decisive victories. They would take the lessons learned from the Great War and forge a new path to victory. Blitzkrieg would become the hallmark of German military strategy in World War II, leading to a series of stunning victories in the early years of the conflict. And so, from the echoes of the past, a new and terrifying form of warfare was born. Blitzkrieg would change the face of modern warfare forever, leaving an indelible mark on history. At the heart of Blitzkrieg was the Panzer Division, a powerful armored fist that could punch through enemy lines. These divisions were equipped with the most advanced tanks of the era, like the Panzer III and IV. But tanks alone could not win battles. Blitzkrieg relied on close coordination between tanks, infantry, and air power. The tanks were the hammer, smashing through enemy defenses and creating chaos. Following closely behind, mechanized infantry would mop up resistance and secure captured territory. The speed of the advance was crucial, preventing the enemy from regrouping or establishing new defensive lines. Above the battlefield, the Luftwaffe, Germany's air force, played a decisive role in Blitzkrieg's success. Dive bombers like the Junkers Ju-87 Stuka became symbols of terror, their sirens wailing as they rained bombs on enemy positions. The Luftwaffe's primary objectives were to achieve air superiority, destroy enemy communications, and disrupt supply lines. They targeted enemy artillery, command posts, and transportation networks, paralyzing the enemy's ability to respond effectively. The combination of air power and mobile ground forces created a deadly synergy, overwhelming the enemy from multiple directions and leaving them with no safe haven. Baptism by Fire, Poland, 1939. On September 1, 1939, the world witnessed the terrifying effectiveness of Blitzkrieg firsthand. German forces unleashed their lightning war on Poland, marking the beginning of World War II. Polish forces, equipped with outdated tanks and relying on cavalry charges, were ill-prepared for the speed and ferocity of the German attack. Panzer divisions sliced through Polish lines while the Luftwaffe wreaked havoc from above. Within weeks, Poland was overrun, its defenses shattered by the relentless onslaught. The world watched in shock as the lightning war proved its devastating potential. The fall of France. If Poland served as a demonstration of Blitzkrieg, a new form of warfare that combined speed, surprise, and overwhelming force, the invasion of France in 1940 solidified its legend. The German military, under the command of Adolf Hitler, executed a plan that would change the course of history. France, considered Europe's mightiest military power, fell in just 6 weeks. This rapid collapse was unthinkable to many at the time, given France's reputation and the strength of its military. German forces bypassed the heavily fortified Maginot Line, a series of strong defensive fortifications that the French believed would protect them from any German invasion. Instead, the Germans surged through the Ardennes forest, a region considered impassable by French strategists due to its dense terrain and rough landscape. This unexpected move caught the French completely off guard. The speed of the advance caught the French completely off guard. French soldiers and civilians alike were stunned by the rapid progression of the German forces. Panzer divisions raced across France, reaching the English Channel in just 10 days. These armoured units, supported by motorised infantry and air support, moved with unprecedented speed and coordination. The Luftwaffe controlled the skies, providing crucial support to the ground forces and ensuring that the French and British could not mount an effective aerial defence. While French and British forces struggled to react to the German army's lightning-fast manoeuvres, their efforts were hampered by outdated tactics and poor communication. The Battle of France was a stunning victory for Germany, showcasing the effectiveness of Blitzkrieg and the weaknesses in the Allied defences. Blitzkrieg, or lightning war, relied on speed, surprise, and concentrated firepower to overwhelm the enemy. This strategy proved devastatingly effective in France. It left Europe in shock. The rapid fall of France sent ripples of fear and uncertainty throughout the continent as nations grappled with the reality of German military dominance and solidified Hitler's grip on the continent. With France under German control, Hitler's power and influence grew, setting the stage for further conquests and the dark days of World War II. Despite its early successes, Blitzkrieg was not without its limitations. It relied heavily on surprise, good communication, and favorable weather conditions. As the war progressed, these advantages began to erode. The vast distances and harsh weather conditions of the Eastern Front proved particularly challenging for Blitzkrieg. Muddy roads slowed the German advance, while the Red Army's stubborn resistance denied them decisive victories. Moreover, as the war dragged on, Allied forces adapted their tactics and developed new technologies to counter Blitzkrieg. Improved anti-tank weapons and air power eroded the German advantage. The Battle of Kursk in 1943 marked a turning point in the war and the beginning of the end for Blitzkrieg. The battle, one of the largest tank clashes in history, saw the Red Army successfully anticipate and blunt the German offensive. From that point onward, the initiative shifted to the Allies. German forces, depleted by years of fighting and facing overwhelming industrial might, were forced into a long and costly retreat. Blitzkrieg, once an unstoppable force, had been blunted. The lightning war had lost its spark, a victim of its own limitations and the growing strength of the Allied powers. Though Blitzkrieg ultimately failed to secure victory for Germany, its impact on military thinking was profound. The concept of rapid, decisive warfare using combined arms tactics continues to influence modern military doctrine. The 1991 Gulf War, with its emphasis on air power and rapid maneuver warfare, is often cited as an example of Blitzkrieg's enduring legacy. The swift and decisive victory of coalition forces demonstrated the continued relevance of many of Blitzkrieg's core principles. Blitzkrieg's legacy can also be seen in the development of modern military technology. The emphasis on mobility, firepower, and combined arms operations continues to drive innovation in tank design, air power, and communication systems. Blitzkrieg remains one of the most fascinating and controversial military doctrines in history. It was a revolutionary approach to warfare, one that shattered conventional thinking and left an indelible mark on the 20th century. While ultimately unsuccessful, Blitzkrieg's impact on military history is undeniable. It forced the world to rethink the nature of warfare and adapt to a new era of rapid mechanized conflict. The lessons learned from Blitzkrieg, both in its successes and its failures, continue to shape military thinking today, a testament to the enduring legacy of this lightning war that shook Europe to its core.